It was dumping rain when I pulled into the after-school lot in Gresham. Wipers going full speed. Still couldn't see shit out the windshield. I was soaked just running from the car to the entrance. The parking lot lights flickered like it was trying to warn me about something. Maybe it was. My phone buzzed in the cup holder before I got out. I figured it was Lisa reminding me to grab milk or something about Ryan's soccer gear, just regular stuff. Instead, the text said, "Leaving for Valencia with Adam." I transferred the savings. Good luck with the mortgage. I didn't move. Didn't blink. Just sat there like my brain blue screened. My hands slipped off the steering wheel and dropped to my lap. Cold, number. My mouth went dry. I opened the banking app. 29,000 gone. All that was left in checking was $686. Mortgage was due in 5 days. 1975. I stared at the numbers until the screen dimmed and shut off. Quick note. Before we start, how's your day going and where are you joining from? I finally got out of the car, still gripping the phone like it owed me something. The rain hit hard, cold, sideways, relentless. By the time I walked through the front doors of the community center, I looked like I'd just climbed out of a lake. Inside, kids were painting and running around. It smelled like glue and old sneakers. I scanned the room. Ryan spotted me and bolted over with his backpack half open and ketchup smeared down his sleeve. "Dad, can we go to Burger Garage?" "It's burger night," he shouted, grinning like nothing in his world had exploded. I forced a smile. It felt like someone else's face. "We'll figure something out, bud," I said, throwing a hand on his back. His skin was warm through his shirt. Mine was freezing. I signed him out, still soaked, still shaking. The staff member looked at me weird, but didn't say anything. Maybe she thought I was crying. I wasn't. Not yet. Outside, Ryan kept talking about his day. Some game they played, some kid who cheated, something about dinosaurs. I nodded at the right spots, but my head wasn't in it. All I could hear was that damn message echoing over and over. Leaving for Valencia with Adam. Ryan climbed into the back seat, still going a mile a minute. "Can I get a milkshake too?" "Please." "Vanilla!" I didn't answer. I just looked at the steering wheel. Then I started the car. We didn't go to Burger Garage. We didn't go anywhere special. We just drove. Back at the house, Ryan kicked off his shoes and flipped on the TV like it was any normal night. I dropped my keys on the counter and went straight to the bedroom, shutting the door behind me. I sat on the edge of the bed and called the bank. After 3 holds and 2 transfers, I got some lady named Angela. I gave her the account info and waited while she clicked around. My jaw clenched so hard it hurt. "Looks like the full balance was transferred yesterday morning," she said, "to an external account ending in 4881. "That account's not in my name," I said. She hesitated. "It was a joint account. Legally, either party can move funds without authorization. So she can just wipe it out and vanish?" Silence. Then, "I'm sorry, sir." I hung up before I said something stupid. In the kitchen, I opened the pantry. A couple cans of soup, half a box of cereal, some rice, and 3 single-serving applesauce cups. We might stretch it 3 days if I skipped meals. Maybe 4. Ryan laughed at something on the cartoon. It cut through me. I leaned against the counter and opened my texts with Lisa. Scrolled back until my thumb hurt. 2 months ago, she wrote, "I just feel overwhelmed. I need space. Can you understand that?" I'd told her, yeah, I understood. I thought she meant emotionally. I didn't know she meant exit strategy. Adam, the guy from work. Real estate marketing or something. Blonde, tall, fake smile. He came to our backyard barbecue last spring. I offered him a beer. We talked about grilling techniques like a couple of idiots. I shook his hand. That same hand's probably been all over my wife for months. I closed my eyes and saw it. Lisa leaning in across some European cafe table, whispering promises while I was driving door to door for tips. She used to say I'd checked out after the layoff last year. Maybe I did. You get let go from a warehouse job you've had since your 20s, it punches the air out of your lungs. I busted my ass to pick up work. Odd jobs, food delivery, fixing stuff for neighbors. I wasn't lazy, I was just tired. But Lisa didn't care about tired. She wanted shiny. Her mom, Nancy, never liked me. Kept calling my tools junk when I left them in the garage. Said my work boots were trashy when I walked on her carpet. That woman had the nerve to flinch like I brought in fleas. Lisa never defended me. Not once. I walked to the fridge and just stood there, covered top to bottom in Ryan's drawings, dinosaurs with sunglasses, a sketch of me holding his hand, a blue stick figure house with 3 people, and a yellow sun. That stupid yellow sun. It always looked like hope, but tonight it looked like a damn joke. I didn't cry, I didn't even blink. I turned off the kitchen light, walked into Ryan's room, and kissed his forehead. He was snoring with his mouth open, still holding a toy car in his hand. I stood there longer than I meant to. I wasn't sleeping, I knew that already. I opened my laptop, pulled up the bank statements, rechecked the text from Lisa. Nah, she left us in the dirt, now I'm digging. The next morning, I dropped Ryan off and headed straight to Lisa's office in downtown Portland. Her building had those clean glass doors and fake succulents in the lobby, one of those places that tries way too hard to look casual. I told the receptionist I was her husband and needed to speak with someone in management. She made a face but picked up the phone anyway. A guy in khakis and a Seahawks mug came out a few minutes later, introduced himself as Brian, her manager. We shook hands. His palm was cold and limp. She submitted her resignation about 2 weeks ago, he said. Said she was relocating abroad for personal reasons. Didn't give details. Did she say where she was going? I asked. He shook his head. Just said she needed a fresh start. Last time I saw her was last Thursday. I nodded, took a beat. You know if she was, seeing anyone here? His face tensed up, like I just brought up a dead pet. Look, I don't know much, but Adam? Maybe. I always got weird vibes there. But I don't pry, I didn't thank him. Just walked out. Back in the car, I stared at the dashboard for a minute, then called Kevin, Lisa's brother, and probably the only one in her family who ever treated me like a human being. He picked up on the second ring. Hey man, he said, cautious already. I just need the truth, Kev. Did you know she was leaving the country? Long pause. I heard him exhale. She said she was thinking about starting fresh overseas. I didn't know it was already happening. She take our savings? Another pause. Too long. Did you know, Kevin? Click. That told me everything I needed. At home, I put Ryan in front of a Lego cartoon and went digging. I opened the filing cabinet in our bedroom. The one Lisa always said was just old bills and warranties. Buried between junk mail and an expired passport, I found a cream-colored envelope. It was a thank you card, handwritten. Couldn't have done it without your help. Valencia is going to be our real start. Love you, Lisa. I stood there, gripping the paper like it might burn. Nancy, that crusty old witch, helped plan this. She'd been running her mouth about me for years. Now she was funding the damn escape. I laid everything out on the kitchen table. Lisa's text, the bank records, that card. Took photos of each one, making sure the dates and names were clear. Every detail counted now. I went outside for air. My neighbor Jason was out front dragging a busted grill to the curb. You all right, man? You look pale. My wife emptied our savings and vanished to Spain with her boyfriend, I said flat, trying to figure out how to nail her. He blinked. Jesus, you need a lawyer? You got one? Yeah, Robin Lang. She handled my custody case last year. Sharp as hell. He gave me her number. I didn't wait. I called her on the spot. She picked up on the third ring. Robin Lang, she said. My name's Drew Kessler. My wife just bailed overseas with our money and left me with our son. I have proof. Can you help me? She didn't hesitate. Come in tomorrow. Bring everything. Robin's office sat in a strip mall between a vape shop and a dental place. Outside looked basic, but inside was sharp. Dark wood shelves, clean lines, not a paper out of place. She wore a black blazer, no jewelry, no nonsense. I handed her the folder, printouts of Lisa's bank transfers, the thank you card, screenshots of the text she sent me. She flipped through them fast, laser-focused. Didn't waste time with small talk. She emptied your joint account and left the country with no plan to return, she asked. She left me and our son with $600 and a mortgage, I said. She took off to Valencia with her boyfriend. Robin nodded. Okay, we can file for emergency temporary custody and move to freeze any assets still in her name. She won't see a dime more if we move fast. My jaw tightened. What about charges? This has to be abandonment. That depends. We need hard proof she isn't coming back, or that she set up life elsewhere. Job contracts, leases, anything with dates and signatures. You said she left last week? Yeah, Thursday. She leaned forward. We're on a timer then. Jurisdiction still favors you, but we need to act. Now I left her office with a packet of forms and one goal: burn the bridge Lisa thought she'd crossed clean. That night, Ryan was out cold by 9. I sat on the floor in our bedroom with Lisa's old laptop on my knees. She never changed her password, Ryan's birthday. Same 6 digits I'd used to set it up years ago. I logged in. The background was still a photo of the 3 of us at Cannon Beach. Ryan was maybe 5. Lisa's hand was on my chest like we were solid. I didn't stay on it long. I went straight to her email. It was all there. Dozens of messages between her and Adam. Subject lines like final itinerary, lease confirmation, Spain job offer. They'd signed a 1-year lease on an apartment in central Valencia. She'd accepted a marketing role 2 weeks before she left. Then I found the real bomb. A PDF draft labeled custody prep. I opened it. 4 pages long, full of accusations, my unemployment, emotional instability, anger issues, even references to Ryan being nervous around me, which was complete bullshit. Her tone was polished, cold, like she was rehearsing for court. She planned to take him, not just leave, but take him once she had her new life in place. I sat there, fists clenched on the keyboard. I forwarded everything to Robin: the emails, the itinerary, the job offer, the lease, the custody document. She called me 10 minutes later. "This is a gold mine," she said. "We've got her intent, her plan, and a pattern. This isn't just abandonment, it's premeditated custody manipulation." My voice shook, but I kept it together. "She tried to bury me. She really tried. She left you with the kid, the debt, and no resources. That's not a mother leaving. That's someone trying to erase you." Robin's voice was calm, but there was steel in it. I needed that. Lisa wasn't just gone. She'd built a trap and left me sitting in the middle of it, broke, blindsided, 1 step from collapse. Too bad for her. I'd just found the blueprint. I was pouring dry cereal into a bowl for dinner when my phone buzzed with a number I didn't recognize. International. I almost let it go to voicemail, but something in my gut said, "Pick it up." "Hello?" Long pause. Then a shaky breath. "It's Adam." I didn't say anything, just waited. "She's spiraling," he said. "Lisa, I can't. She's not who I thought she was, man." I leaned against the counter. "You think?" She told me we were starting over. Said she'd already settled everything. I just found out she opened an account in Switzerland, in my name too. She took money from me, Drew. Tens of thousands. I kept my voice even. "And now you want to switch sides?" "I didn't sign up for this," he said. "She told me if I ever turned on her, she'd tell people I was abusive. Said she'd have proof I narrowed my eyes." "Was there?" "No. Nothing. We argued, yeah. But I never laid a finger on her. I need protection. If I give you what I found, I need something in writing." I didn't say yes. I didn't say no. "I'll have my lawyer draft a protection agreement," I said. "If you're serious, I want everything. Documents, emails, proof of that Swiss account. All of it. I'll send it. Just cover me." I hung up and called Robin, told her everything. Within the hour, she emailed me a protection agreement. I forwarded it to Adam. He signed. By that afternoon, my inbox lit up like Christmas. He sent over PDFs, screenshots of the Swiss account balances, routing info, and even a withdrawal Lisa made 2 days after she left the country. It wasn't just our money she stole. She'd been bleeding him too. And then came the jackpot. Emails between Lisa and Nancy. Lines like, "Once I'm stable again, I'll rebuild custody from scratch. He won't stand a chance if I play it right." Another one, "Adam's soft. He won't fight me." I forwarded everything to Robin. She didn't even call this time. Just replied with, "She's digging her own grave. Let's keep going." That night, I sat on the edge of Ryan's bed. He was passed out, arms wrapped around a stuffed dinosaur he'd had since he was 4. I brushed his hair back and listened to his breathing. Steady, safe. My mind wouldn't shut off. Lisa lied, stole, disappeared. And now, when her house of cards started falling, she was ready to burn anyone nearby, including the guy she ran away with. But here's the thing. She underestimated me. I might have been broke, might have been tired, but I wasn't backing down. The courthouse smelled like bleach and old coffee. My palms were sweating before I even made it through security. Robin met me in the hallway, calm as ever, a thick folder in her hand. No tie, no nerves, just game face. "She's not here," she said, nodding toward the courtroom door. "But Nancy is." I turned, and there she was. Lisa's mother. Her eyes locked on me like I was something she stepped in. She wore pearls and a beige coat, like this was a damn brunch. "You never deserved her," she muttered as I passed. I didn't stop walking. Robin didn't even flinch. We stepped into the courtroom. The judge was already seated, older, no expression. Lisa's lawyer sat alone on the other side, some gray-haired guy in an overpriced suit who didn't look happy to be there without his client. Robin stood up and got right into it. "Your Honor, we're seeking emergency custody and an immediate freeze on all joint and offshore financial assets connected to Lisa Kessler. The respondent has fled the country, emptied the marital savings, and left the petitioner with full responsibility for their minor child." She handed over the evidence we'd gathered. I watched the judge flip through it slowly. No reaction, just page after page. Robin didn't sit down. She waited, arms crossed, like she already knew how this was going. Lisa's lawyer finally stood up, trying to look composed. "Your Honor, my client is not evading her responsibilities. She's processing emotionally. She feared for her mental health and needed space. Mr. Kessler has a history of unemployment and emotional volatility, and she—" Robin cut in before he could finish. "We've already submitted recent employment records and character references. My client's been the sole caregiver since the respondent left. He's maintained housing, school attendance, and a safe environment for the child. What we're seeing here isn't fear, it's premeditation." The judge looked up. His eyes were cold, but focused. "Mr. Kessler," he said, "are you currently employed?" "Yes, sir," I said. "I recently started part-time with a signage company, and I still pick up side work, enough to keep my kid fed. And your son? He's safe, healthy, in school every day. I've got report cards and teacher emails if you want them. He didn't ask for them, just nodded once and turned to Lisa's lawyer. Until further notice, I'm granting temporary full custody to Mr. Kessler. We'll freeze all relevant accounts immediately and begin a formal investigation into Ms. Kessler's financial actions and international status. Further hearings will be scheduled once she returns or is compelled to respond bang of the gavel, just like that." Outside the courtroom, I took a breath for the first time in what felt like weeks. Then Nancy stormed up. "This isn't over," she hissed, jabbing a finger at my chest. "You're not fit to raise that boy alone." I stepped back and looked her dead in the eye. "You come near me again, I'll file a restraining order so fast your dentures will spin." She flinched. Robin stepped between us. "Walk away, Nancy." She did, but not before giving me one last dirty look, like I stole something that was never hers to begin with. That night, I was sorting laundry while Ryan played with his Hot Wheels. My phone buzzed with an email alert. Subject line, RE Employment Review Inquiry, Lisa Kessler. It was from her company in Valencia. Some HR manager saying they'd received a report involving potential legal conflicts surrounding Ms. Kessler's relocation and would be reviewing her contract. I stared at the screen, jaw locked. It wasn't from me, but I knew exactly who sent it. Nancy couldn't help herself. Even rats jump ship when they smell smoke. I stared at that email from Lisa's job for a solid 5 minutes. Not because I was surprised. It just confirmed what I already suspected. But the sender details, that's what made me laugh. Nancy had used a Gmail address with my full name in it, something like drew.kessler.parental.concern@gmail.com, and then forgot to BCC herself when she forwarded it to Lisa. Rookie move. I replied with one word, forwarded. Then I sent it straight to Robin. 10 minutes later, she called, pissed but focused. She impersonated you and sent confidential court information to a foreign employer. That's identity fraud and obstruction. We're filing today. By the afternoon, the court granted an emergency restraining order against Nancy. She wasn't allowed within 100 feet of me or Ryan, physically or digitally. Robin said she'd push for formal charges once the DA reviewed the documents. I didn't hear from Nancy, but I didn't need to. Lisa did the honors. She called that night. I picked up because I wanted to hear the crash. "You cost me my job!" she shouted. They froze my contract, Drew. You don't get to do that. I waited for her to stop. Then I said, calm as hell. Nope. Your mom did I sent her the same forwarded message, Nancy's dumbass email, the IP trace Robin's tech guy pulled, everything. There was silence on the other end. I pictured her just standing there in some overpriced apartment in Valencia, finally realizing she got played by her own blood. Unbelievable, she muttered. Then the line went dead. She didn't call back. Robin filed to freeze anything still traceable in Lisa's name. A week later, we got a hit. Another offshore account tied to a business entity Nancy helped Lisa set up 2 years ago. The name was something stupid like LNR Family Consulting. They'd tried to make it look like a marketing startup. 16 grand, gone from their hands, back under the court's jurisdiction, held for Ryan's future. When I told Robin, thank you, she actually paused. You're getting your life back, Drew, she said, piece by piece. That night, I sat on the porch with a beer and just breathed, not shallow, not with one eye on my phone, real breath. Inside, Ryan was playing with his new art kit Jason had picked up for him. Markers all over the table, glue stick in his hair, music playing low from my phone speaker. For the first time in a long while, my shoulders weren't sitting up around my ears. My stomach didn't feel like it was being squeezed in a vice. It wasn't peace, not yet, but it was close. Lisa had tried to disappear, rebuild, erase me. Nancy tried to play puppet master, and both of them lost control. What they didn't get was simple. You don't leave your own blood behind and expect the world to cheer for it. Robin said we were on track for permanent custody. Nothing final yet, but everything lined up. I didn't celebrate. I just walked back inside, grabbed a paper towel, and wiped glue off my kid's forehead. That was enough for me. Months passed. The court finalized full custody in my name. Lisa got supervised video calls twice a month, but she barely used them. When she did show up, she looked tired, distracted. Ryan stopped asking about her after the second missed call. Nancy didn't show up for her last hearing. Identity theft, obstruction, perjury, stacked. She got dragged through the mud in her little HOA group, banned from her church. No one was buying the poor grandma routine anymore. Adam stayed in Spain. He sent me one message, thanks for the protection. I hope things are better on your end. I never replied. With the recovered money and my part-time gig at the signage company, I moved us into a rental in Troutdale. 2-bedroom, small yard, decent plumbing. Nothing flashy, but no leaks and no bad memories in the walls. Ryan adjusted faster than I did. His school reports came home with gold stars and smiley faces. He started laughing more, sleeping through the night, drawing again. I still woke up early with my gut clenched, but it passed quicker now. One night, we sat on the couch eating burgers and crinkle fries, ketchup packets everywhere, cartoon playing low in the background. Ryan was halfway through his milkshake when he looked up and asked, "Do moms stop loving their kids?" I froze, mid-bite, swallowed hard. "Sometimes," I said, "they just forget what matters. But I've got enough love for both of us." He nodded, like that made sense, then went right back to his fries. I watched him for a second. Same kid, same eyes, but stronger now. Less afraid. More sure of who he was. I never asked for this life. Never imagined Lisa would gut our savings and vanish like I was something to be scraped off her shoe. But she did. And when the smoke cleared, I was still standing. This story, it's for every dad who got left holding the bag, the rent, the kid, and the busted promises. I didn't come out rich, didn't come out famous, but I came out still here. And some days, that's a win worth counting.